Welcome to VARINDIA News Hour. India's GDP can grow to $40 trillion if working age population gets employment, says CII. India's gross domestic product or GDP can grow from the current $3 trillion to $9 trillion by 2030 and $40 trillion by 2047 if the country's working age population, which is expected to increase by over 100 million people between 2020 and 30, is productively employed, according to a report by the Confederation of Indian Industry. The report also cautioned that if India does not create enough jobs and its workers are not adequately prepared for those jobs, its demographic dividend may turn into a liability. This, it added, can be done on a sustained basis only with changes in its policy frameworks for education and workforce management. Since the job market is biased towards high-skilled labor, the creation of jobs for low-skilled labor who would continue to dominate its workforce will challenge India, it said. In 2020, there were about 900 million people, that is 67% of total population in the working age group of 15 to 64 in India, which is expected to expand by another 100 million by 2030 despite a declining trend in fertility rate. This implies that a whopping 24.3% of the incremental global workforce over the next decade will come from India, the report states. The golden period of 30 years between 2020 to 50, where our working age population will bulge, can be an important horizontal enabler to bolster growth, even as the developed world, including China, ages, the report says. Whereas the experts say India may well surpass the government's target of $5 trillion GDP by 2025 with a marginal delay. As part of the ongoing multi-decadal growth supercycle, India is expected to add $1 trillion to nominal GDP every few years despite the damaging effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, demonetization and the IL&FS crisis that had shaved off Rs 8.48 trillion in investor wealth crisis over the past 4 years. This is a trend no investor wants to lose out on, experts say. Over the years, India has experienced rising literacy rates, but the level of vocational training or skilling is low, which gets reflected in the high unemployment rate among the educated, the report said. Closing the skill gaps of its qualified workforce will be critical as India depends more on human capital than its peer countries that have a similar level of economic development, and adding that skilling and reskilling require a coordinated response from the government, industry, academia, even as COVID continues to cause structural changes to the workspace. Let's look into today's headlines in VARINDIA. GrafanaLabs raises $240 million in funding round. GrafanaLabs, the fast-growing developer of the open-source Grafana data observability, visualization and dashboard software, has raised $240 million in a Series D round of funding led by GIC and JP Morgan. The additional financing will support GrafanaLabs' rapid growth as it continues to develop the Grafana open-source data visualization and dashboard technology and Grafana-based commercial software products. GrafanaLabs own 2,000 plus commercial customers include Bloomberg, JP Morgan Chase, Sony and eBay. Intel teams up with Lockheed Martin for military 5G. Intel Corporation and Lockheed Martin have joined forces to provide 5G-enabled hardware and software solutions for the US Department of Defense. The companies have signed an MOU to expand the ongoing relationship to develop and align 5G technologies. Intel and Lockheed worked together in the past on military connectivity projects. Last year, the companies used Lockheed's 5G-enabled ground vehicles to demonstrate how hardened security and 5G.MIL capabilities in cloud computing make military personnel safer. Zomato and Swiggy suffer outage due to technical issues. Zomato and Swiggy are facing an outage due to technical issues for some users in India after a number of users reported on Twitter that they were not able to order food from the apps due to the downtime. The apps are not working for some users, while the others are not able to process the orders. It is also noted that the customer care service of both Zomato and Swiggy stopped responding to the customers amid the outage. While the apps have resumed working normally for some users, they are still down for others. BAYC collector loses NFTs in direct swap scam. Bored Ape Yacht Club collector suffers from an NFT scam. A Bored Ape holder by the name S21 lost Bubblegum Ape and matching mutants worth $567,000 after exchanging their NFTs at SwapKiwi, which allows direct NFT swaps between collectors at reduced transaction fees. The scammer added verified check marks to knock off NFTs exclusively to make them appear legitimate on SwapKiwi, a trading site which is similar to NFT Trader or SudoSwap. India's agriculture exports surpassed $50 billion mark. Exports of agriculture products crossed the $50 billion mark for the first time during the financial year 2021 to 22. The highest ever exports have been achieved for staples like rice for $9.65 billion, wheat for $2.19 billion, sugar for $4.6 billion, and other cereals for $1.08 billion. Wheat has recorded an exceptional growth of more than 273%, jumping nearly fourfold from $568 million in 2020 to 21 to touch close to $2,119 million in 2021 to 22. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to VARINDIA News Magazine. You can download the VARINDIA app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.